Welcome to the second week of Internship Training Week organized by Communiqué, IIT Kharagpur. My name is Parth and joining me as my co-host is Aniket. Last week we had sessions for exploring opportunities in data, finance and consult. Today's session centers on the core domain, one of the prominent sectors during the campus internship cycle. We are privileged to host three distinguished panelists who will share their journeys. So, prior to discussing preparation frameworks and technical strategies, I would like to invite our guests to introduce themselves.
So our first panelist is Mr. Samarth Kiran Rane, who is a mechatronics intern in Jaguar Land Rover. Samarth, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, so hello guys, Kamath here. Currently, I've completed my fourth year in mechanical engineering department, and I'm currently pursuing the dual degree specialization in mechanical system design at IIT Kharagpur. I'm currently interning at JLR. I'm currently at Bangalore, and so yeah, I'm excited to have this session and kind of discuss whatever our journeys we have or whatever things we would like to share with you.
Thank you, Samarth. Next, we have Mr. Hardik Jagga, an ASIC intern at NVIDIA. Hardik, over to you.
Hi guys, I am Hardik Jagga and I have completed my third year UG in IIT Kharagpur Electronics and Electrical Communication Engineering Department, and I am an ASIC intern, or as you say, Digital Electronics Hardware intern here at NVIDIA Bangalore, and I am from Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. So yeah, glad to be here.
Thank you, Hardik. Finally, we have Mr. Subham Ghosh, interning at interim engineer at Qualcomm. So Subham, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello everyone. My name is Shubham Ghosh. I am a fourth year undergraduate student of the Department of Electrical Engineering, enrolled in its dual degree course. I am from Durgapur, West Bengal. Currently, I am doing an internship at Qualcomm in its modem firmware team. And yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. So let's start with today's first question. So how did you decide on a core career path and what other domains did you evaluate before finalizing your core profile?
Samarth, you can go first.
Okay, so I would say my case was a bit different because since a long time I have been pursuing or I have deep interest in mechanical engineering. Uh, One thing that I was certain about is that I won't like I found myself that I'm not that proficient in coding especially. So that made me push towards mechanical even more. Uh, Other than that, uh, my technical society uh, basically fostered that interest more, especially towards the automobile side. Um, Also, with time, I grew interest. Matlab, I realized that I cannot completely ignore the coding wala part. So I had to keep myself in touch with these domains. But in order to do that, I started studying about control systems, uh, ML or AI applications in mechanical engineering, and yeah, a bit towards like I tried to diversify my expertise.
And Hardik, what is your perspective on this?
Personally, for me, there's a different story altogether. So, I enrolled in mechanical engineering after my JEE counseling. So, I am glad that we had the opportunity of branch change. So, I converted to EC, and the first time I studied electronics courses were in third semester, as for the most of us. Uh, uh, I had discovered my interest in analog domain right then, and I was consistently just trying to be better at those domains. I've also explored most of the other domains as well, HD, data, and a little bit of consult as well. But I realized that I was just doing that just for the sake of doing, not where my interests were. So I kept those domains as my backup or second, third options, but core was always my first priority right from third semester. After my third semester, I would say.
And Shubham, would you like to add anything on this?
Yeah, so like during my initial college days, I was, completely haphazard in which line should I go. Initially, I started with all those core stuff and all. Uh, and I also, started some DSA prep and everything. Uh, but slowly I realized that the analog part of core, analog part of electronics, that does not suit me. I am not, a great fan of that thing. But the embedded systems part, it was, quite interesting for me, and I decided, let's see if at all I can grab an internship at something which is dependent on embedded systems. And luckily, I got into Qualcomm, so everything is fine.
Okay, thank you. That was really insightful. And as Hardik said, I want to follow up this question with one more question. Did you have a plan B, and what exactly did you prepare? How much did you prepare for plan B along with the core profile? And viewing the trend of our college students shifting away from the core department. So what are your views on that? And did it ever affect you?
Actually, when I tried those HD and data domains, I was always indulged in open IIT and GC events for my hall. So I gathered much information and knowledge from there. And I also participated in some of the competitions, hackathons, data hackathons as we have. Uh, but for personally for me, the things we study in our courses and the things with which we are for like 8 to 10 hours a day, that inevitably develops an interest in you. No matter how much you hate that subject or what, but when you are studying that subject for, let's say, 16 hours before your exam, you somewhere develop some interest in that. So for personally for me, I had that interest and I continued that. Most of the people don't like their core subjects or don't find much opportunities in those fields. That is fine. But once you develop an interest, there are always opportunities that lie, let's say, 3 4 years down the line. And maybe not many core companies come in the CDC or placement seasons, but there are a lot of companies outside in the world. So if you have interest in that, you should go for it, definitely.
Oh, thank you. That was really helpful. And what about Samir?
Yeah.
Did you have a plan B?
Okay, so since the start, since I was in a technical society and the company Jela was a major word in there, so I always targeted Jela. But the point which he said he was inspired by this process. So I can agree with that because my interest in these other domains like control systems or ML, for example, developed by me taking courses with which I'm not comfortable. So I would suggest to try taking courses which are out of your comfort zone as much as possible. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि you just sacrifice the CG and take very hardcore courses in which सारे intakes are present. But I would say कि do an optimized planning कि you are able to safeguard your CV as well as you are able to explore out of your domain. So that is what I would suggest. अभी तो CDC आ चुके हैं, so this won't be a major, what do you say, solution. But this can be approach for your future, let's say 2 or 3 years.
Okay, thank you for that answer. And Shubham, would you like to add anything on this?
Yeah, so there is a lot of craze of machine learning in our college, and I would like to say that one should actually try it once, because most of the fields they use machine learning a lot. Either you go into analog, either you go into embedded systems or anything. Machine learning is actually a essential part of it. some way or the other they use it. So try to use that thing, learn machine learning stuff and everything. And if at all it interests you, you can also go into other fields that are related to, machine learning and stuff. So that might help you a lot.
Yeah, no, the current thing with the companies is that they, as they grow up, they always want to automate everything. So in every small domain, whether it is like you are changing an Excel sheet and you want to rename it according to the certain nomenclature. So for even for that, they are developing automation tools. So for that, you will be needing those idea of the ML architectures or whatever the structures are used in software development. So yeah, having your domain spread towards a diversified direction is always a plus point in your CV or in future.
Yes.
Thank you, Shubham and Samar. Like, that was very knowledgeable, and I'm sure that it would help many. So now, can you walk us through the typical selection process for core internships, like beginning from the shortlisting process and then the final interview?
Yeah, so for Qualcomm, there was an online assessment. Based on that, candidates were selected for interview. In the interview, uh, uh, in the modern firmware team, basically Qualcomm offered three positions during our internship drive. One is of hardware, other one is of modem firmware, and the last one was of systems. So the words, are crazy, but in short, the systems is of signal processing, the modem firmware is of embedded systems, and the hardware is of analog. So in modern firmware, the interview started with my CV. They started asking, about the projects from my CV and everything. There was a project on machine learning from my CV. So he started digging into it. What architecture I used and everything, every detail of that. The second project was of C++ fundamental thing. I did that project from FTP University of Kent FTP thing in our college. So that was they were asking questions from C++ fundamentals, and later the questions shifted towards slightly core side, embedded systems. They started asking me questions about communication protocols, SPY, UART. Third year guys might know all these things from electrical and electronics. And the thing is that, for Qualcomm specifically, you need to have a good understanding about communication protocols, because Qualcomm stands for quality communication. So communication is a major part of it. So yeah, and after that he started asking me questions from general mathematics, some aptitude based questions, and yeah, the interview went well, and yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so I have myself I have given two interviews in Bajaj and Jela. But in general, I have some idea in general about the type of questions or type of expectations that each and every companies like Hero ho gaya or Suzuki that comes for mechanical they have. So mostly, at least for mechanical, whatever you do in your coursework, especially the third year subjects like dynamics, kinematics, and kinetics of machines, and all that. Whatever coursework you have in your proper third year, wala, you can check it in IIT. That is given some value. And in general, they won't ask anything specific. They would ask you in which in like for example in which subject you are good at, and they will start asking questions in that domain. So one suggestion is that you please be prepared with your core subjects as much as possible, because that is the bare minimum criteria that they will be looking on. Uh, like CG, even though it's high, agar if you're not able to answer simple questions like anything related to buckling or anything related to mechanical piece not be knowing it. So that will be a huge disappointment. Apart from that, and even JLR asked general questions only, but there can be some specialized companies. For example, JLR is an automobile company. So keeping your CV around automobiles or having some idea on how automobile architecture works. For example, agar someone wants to apply for the electronics part of JLR, so communication protocols are important, as said by Shubham. Someone wants to apply for the mechatronics, so there are a lot of things like failure mode analysis or in general they will like give hypothetical situations agar car if it is going for a crash, so in what way it can break down, failures kaise aa sakte. So in general you should be having some intuition about the product that the company delivers. uh, Also one suggestion that I would give to impress the interviewers is that you please go through their websites, please go through their products in very detail. Like personally in my interview they were impressed because I knew each and every car of them and each and every specifications of it. So it gives them a special feeling that you have been preparing for their company in a very different way than others, because mostly the ones competing with you will be very uh, diversified. Matlab, a lot of people, those who were studying or doing software wala studies, will also be applying for JLR, mechatronics. So there will be like many such peoples. And if any by chance they are able to answer basic questions, or if you're not able to do that, you may be in a problematic situation. Also, so yeah, that was my basic key takeaway, that they mostly ask questions from the core subjects only.
For almost all the core companies that come for electronics, they first have an online assessment round where they give a 1 hour assessment, or let's say 70, 80 minutes assessment, and give questions. And based on that score as well as your CV, they shortlist you for the interview round. For me, I gave interviews for Texas Instruments as well as for NVIDIA, but they never asked questions from my CV. So yeah, it varies a lot. You need to understand whatever you write in your CV, but my interview mostly revolved around the digital concepts or the Verilog code that we are supposed to learn on by our own. So the thing is, for a BTech student, we don't usually get to study courses like VLSI engineering or computer architecture because they are in the third year course curriculum. So for those topics, we need to study on our own. So it kind of gives an disadvantage to the BTech people, but on the same time, they don't expect much from you. If you have a basic understanding of, let's say, computer architecture topics, or let's say you have some understanding of Verilog concepts, that is just an add-on. They don't ask much from that, but if you have that skill, that is a positive point right there. They asked questions. They started from the basics of digital electronics, and they took it to a difficult level as well. My NVIDIA interview was around 1 hour, 15, 20 minutes, and they asked some 7, 8 questions from me, ranging from digital electronics to Verilog to uh, probability to puzzles, everything. They not only judge you based on the answers you give, but more on the approach that you follow while answering those questions. So it's more important to communicate well rather than just giving the final answer correct.
Thank you, Hardik. So basically, like you mentioned about the interview, so I wanted to ask, like the in CV we add projects, right? So how much weightage do those projects hold in general? And like
Uh,
how well you should know about your own project?
Basically, you should know everything about your project. uh, you should then there should never be a point that you are not able to defend in your interview, because that's the last thing you want to have in your CDC or let's say placement interviews. So you need to make your CV very carefully. Uh, make it make it. I spent some 10 days make while writing my CV. So you should know everything in your CV, but uh, as I said, they didn't ask anything about that. But you should know everything. Sorry, I don't remember your second question. Can you repeat once?
No, I think that was that.
Acha, that projects one.
Huh. And
Projects are very important in your uh, core electronics domain. For a BTech student, they don't expect much from you when it comes to the projects, but some hands-on experience in electronics domain is add on to that. You can always write projects based on your labs or anything, but if you have some real life hands-on experience, that is much better. If you are in some research group or some technical society where you get some hands-on experience on embedded systems, electronics, IoT, anything, that gives a very very good feedback to your interviewer.
thank you, Hardik. And yes, Samarth, you wanted to add on.
I would like to add something. So, in my experience, I had a different opinion. I have a similar opinion, but I want to add something that I gave two interviews, as I said, in one in Bajaj and one in Jela. So, in Bajaj, specifically, I don't know, in general, they were asking questions from CV only. But in my case, they didn't even look at my CV. They just asked me core questions. And in JLR, they came for mechatronics role, but they asked me about my control systems ka project. So what I would try to say is that what I'm saying is that don't try to rote learn your CV, whatever CV you're doing, whatever points you will be writing. Don't just rote learn it. Have a diversified idea about your complete project. So, for example, for JLR, it is an automobile company. So, I used to daily watch for half an hour or 1 hour. I used to watch car reviews, matlab car ke andar, what are the features, what is the exact essence that why is the company making it. So, you should have the diversified idea. Also in Bajaj, they were asking me ki my whole projects are related to automobiles, four-wheeler cars. Then why do you want to join a two-wheeler car, two-wheeler company, right? So all these questions, which these are not directly linked to your CV points, right? This is not technical questions, but the company, what they're looking is that actually have a diversified idea about what they are doing, because in the company they won't be giving the specific work that you have mentioned in the CV. They may give any kind of work. They may have any kind of requirement in the uh, current situation. So, for example, JLR this year had a requirement of digital twin people. So, for digital twin, they needed people who know AI or ML or related fields. So, I was lucky enough to have a control systems project on my CV, which basically gets integrated in the digital twin uh, framework. So one thing, diversity in terms of technical projects, and second, do not outline your CV. Try to have a exact idea of whatever you're doing.
Thank you. That was really helpful. And now moving on to the next question, we know that CGPA is really important. It matters in core placements. So for students who are going to pursue core, what would you say would be the safe range of CGPA?
Like mostly it depends on the type of company, but I would say if you're trying to grab an internship, it also depends on the role mostly. If you're trying to grab an internship in an analog role, try to have a CGPA above 8.5. Try to have it. And if it is related to embedded systems or something like that, some sort of software is there in that thing. So 8 plus is sufficient.
Like I'm a bit confused on this question because अभी तो सबकी CG लॉक हो चुकी है. So in general, मतलब according to my experience in core companies, they did give priority to CG. So CG ranging between 8.5 to 9 were given priority and they were getting easily shortlisted. Um there can be few exceptions to the company, but like this was the main point like I wanted to mention. But apart from that, even if there is some CG load, I know few people who have applied off campus and they have got really good companies. So even someone wants to know the names of this company, I will definitely share them.
And
Yes, CGPA is important when it comes to core internships because that is the first thing they can judge you for if you are able to study your courses or not. But the thing is, if you have a decent enough CGPA but have a very good projects and very good CV, that compensates for most of that. As of now you don't have anything to do with the CG now, so it's already logged. So uh, at max if you have a not so good CGPA, by not so good I don't mean you have to be 9 plus or something, but if you have a decent enough CGPA and you have good enough projects, you stand a very good chance when it comes to core internships.
8.6 का ऊपर is good only. 8.3, 8.7, 8.8 is equal to 9 only. मतलब more companies.
thank you. That was really informative. I wanted to ask another question following this. Does your relations with professors help you during the CDC and also off-campus opportunities?
Yet, like to some extent, it helps for some of the companies. Uh, because some professors have direct connection with some of the companies. I won't name them, but yeah.
Professors help in a sense that if they have good contacts, then the tendency of coming that company to come for campus interviews is high. But on a personal level, personally for me, there was no help from the professors.
Yeah, even for me, I don't think professors help that much in the CDC internships, but more in the case of off-campus opportunities. Because if you are really interested in core, you might even go for research in your this 2 month period. So for that, you obviously need some LORs or some referrals from your professors. So in that way, having good relations with professors help, but I don't think it matters much when it comes to CDC internship season.
So following up on this professor thing, like for me, or and I believe for most others as well, whatever the professor teaches in class, half of that goes above my head during that time. So I want to know that like what resources or study methods did you find like effective enough so that like those which the prof you didn't understand or particularly in general students don't understand to strengthen your fundamental and specialized topics and also like your preparation roadmap kind of.
This may be a tough question because there is no unified repository where you can refer everything. So I would like to share my personal experience. Ki I was pursuing control systems, right? So control systems के resources are plenty on the YouTube. मतलब MATLAB itself is promoting it a lot. And in general, there are many people working on this ML plus control systems, whatever it is. Uh, Specifically for mechanical engineering, yeah, I agree. The professor's notes, मतलब referring them after a year or after a few months, they may be a bit confusing because they are not that structured. Because professor at some time don't take the subject in a uniform pace. मतलब अगर end में they want to rush, they will rush indefinitely. especially fluid dynamics का जो course है, it was very unstructured during our time. So no one had a proper idea of it. So whatever the content they are teaching, it is already available as a coursework for many GATE platforms. मतलब YouTube पे you will find lectures for GATE, and GATE have uh, similar syllabus, okay, that we are taught in our colleges till third year. So you can refer to the resources that are provided, like for example, physics. Well, I'm not promoting anything, but I'm giving an example. Ki if they are taking a lecture, you can basically follow them to have some basic idea, and to then dive deep into that topic. You can refer to the professor's notes or some book uh, that will definitely find on Google or something like that.
Uh, Shubham or Hardik, do anyone to add anything to add on?
Yeah, so most of the course curriculum of IIT KGP is really outdated. We all know this. So I would like to say if you are really interested in all this core stuff, try to join some project related work under some professor of, let's say, mechanical engineering department or electrical or electronics. Because when you are actually doing the project work, you get to learn a lot of new things from that. So instead of focusing only on the course curriculum, which is actually quite outdated, try to grab a small project work under some good professor. That is more important, I feel.
Yes,
Okay, so
Samar.
like I would like to add on this that yeah, his point is correct that if like even in my personal experience, the way I started doing control systems for learning is I picked up a project. I made a problem statement for myself. So this is an important point that try to instead of finding someone to make a project for yourself, one thing you can do is to make a problem statement for yourself that is way above your league. Matlab, you start gradually developing that, but at the end, after the 3 months of the preparation of your summer, like for preparing the internship, you will end up at a very good level for that project. Okay, so like this was an idea. Apart from that, the point he mentioned that about the project under professor. According to my personal experience, don't try to take a project which is very research oriented. Matlab, most of the companies that will be coming will be they are mostly corporate, right? And one thing of having doing a research project is that it may take a lot of time for you to pick up on that particular topic. Second is that the company may want small things in your CV which may not be in that depth, but so basically, I will come again to that diversity topic. If you keep doing particular project which is very heavy in research, you will end up doing a very small amount of thing, though it is in very depth. But it may end up you having not a good idea of that particular topic, and also with a lot less of content to be presented in front of in a CV or to the interviewer.
Personally, for me, for a BTech student, you don't generally get a good opportunity to go for projects under professors. So for us, it's mostly for most of you, it's mostly about the theoretical understanding, and if you have some hands-on experience, that is always a plus point. Uh, Even I refer to some of the YouTube lectures. I personally found Himanshu Agarwal Gate lectures, they were pretty good. And there's one also playlist given by Onur Mutlu. Many might not have even heard of it, but it's a really good playlist for digital concepts, starting from, let's say, basic digital concepts to the computer architecture topics as well. Uh, but one thing we have to study that is not in our courses is static timing analysis. That is a really important topic for our online assessments, and that topic is pretty easy. So if you have seen a lecture of 2 hours, it can easily give you two questions correct. So that is worth the investment you are putting in. Even for that, I chose Himanshu Agarwal. Uh, One more thing I would like to add is for companies like TI, they generally ask from RC circuits a lot. So you need to have a very good understanding of that topic. They won't ask you a lot into the depth of digital electronics or any other domain or your projects as well, but they'll start from the very basics of RC circuits, and they'll uh, give you questions on that, and based on that they'll increase the difficulty on that. So some basic concepts you need to learn, which are not covered in our courses, of course, and I guess YouTube is the best for that.
Thank you so much. That was really informative. So moving on to the next question. My question is, could you share your preparation timeline and like few months before the internship, how did you plan your months and how did you prepare for the internship before the timeline started?
Yeah, so mostly, the summer vacation that we get just before the internship, that is a gem mine for us. So try to do as many things as you can, but again, not irrelevant things, because those 70 to 80 days are very precious. In Try to learn topics which are actually very important. It may be related to ML, it may be related to DSA or something, graph, DP, it can be anything, or it may be related to embedded systems and all. Try to use that 3 months time perfectly so that you get a good understanding of what you are learning.
For me, uh, I started the summer uh, studying the concepts that we have not covered in our courses. To name a few, static timing analysis, of course, computer architecture, and Verilog concepts, because they are very important when it comes to interviews and all. So I gave, let's say, 2 3 weeks of my first 2 3 weeks of the summer to that, and after that I revised all of the courses that I have covered in the class or course. For analog domain, I started with a book named as Razavi. Most of you should have heard of it. And for digital concepts, the courses, the digital electronics course in electronics department, and started revising again these three topics, because these three topics are very important and are never covered in our courses. I don't know about the new curriculum, but for us it was never taught. Also, apart from this, there's a topic for 8051 microprocessor. MCQs are based even on that topic. So again, I chose NISO Academy YouTube playlist for that, and it covers almost everything about that. So I revised everything, and the CV portal came as a shocker to me. To be very honest, I didn't expect it to be this early, but uh, I had planned everything. I was on the track, and maybe because of that, I didn't find it very overwhelming when the CV portal started. So it's always better to plan your summer, and based on that, follow that track. Also, try to go through the last year PYQs as well, because that really gives you an understanding of where your preparation stands. I personally saw some questions on a weekly basis, and based on that, I knew where my preparation was. So after my first week of summer, to be very honest, I didn't know anything, but as the time progressed, I could solve a lot of questions in that. So if you plan your summers well, you will be able to crack it.
Okay, so the approach which I used was initially I started collecting whatever projects I have already done by my third year. Okay, So I tried to make a CV based on it and try to identify the gaps or how kitni my CV is currently khali. Okay. So based on that and based on finding gaps in my CV, I tried to add new projects or new pointers to it and started studying in that direction. So for example, I had a robotics project in which I had to develop an mechanism for an foot robot, basically a four-legged robot. Okay. So in that, in order to diversify my project, it was simple designing project. Okay. But in that, I have mentioned something, a carbon fiber rod for the term, which I mentioned in my CV point. Okay. So I started studying about it. What is carbon fiber? How is it made? How is a tube made? Why carbon fiber tubes are better? What the types of um basically the direction in which these fibers are oriented to make it strong. So all these dynamics about one particular small piece, which may be asked in my interview. So laying down whatever I currently have done, laying down what I will be doing during my summer vacation, and then according to that, I tried keeping my study pattern. So, for example, I was a part of Team Cut and I have been doing work under related to vehicle dynamics. So, identifying my gaps in knowledge in vehicle dynamics by writing my CV pointers, I kept studying vehicle dynamics every day. Similarly, I wanted to make a project for control systems. I laid down all the ideal pointers that I want in my CV and I started working towards them, starting learning whatever I need. So my personal approach was a bit CV oriented, making my CV as robust as possible, as diversified as possible, and making myself not just rote learn the CV, but actually know the concept in depth. So yeah, that was my approach.
Uh, Thank you, Samarth. So I would like to add, like, ask something. So basically, at the end of second year, we need to choose whether we need to do a dual degree or go for BTech, right? And me now, or I believe many others would be confused, like opting for dual degree, is it worth it or not? So, like, can you elaborate on that?
Okay, first of all, I'm not sure of this new system whether is it allowed to convert into dual degree or not because I have heard some batches will be competing together. So, for example, there was a batch where dual degree conversion is not possible, and all mechanical people have to compete in the same summer vacation, same CDC session. Is it true, or do we still have dual degree conversion?
Like, as far as I know, and for my department, at the end of second year, we can choose whether we want to go for dual or stick to BTech. So,
Okay. So conversion to dual will make sense if you realize that you don't have enough projects as of now, and you may not be a good competition to your seniors who are in dual degree and who already have an edge of an extra year. There might be special cases that you prepare for your core subjects, somehow fill your CV with available projects online and sit for an interview and you get selected. I'm not taking guarantee कि अगर you're not confident and तुम बैठ गए तुम्हारा नहीं होगा ऐसा compulsory नहीं है. It can be a case कि तुम्हारा selection भी हो जाएगा. But if you want to do it properly and if you are already sensed that you may not be a good competition to your seniors who are in dual degree, switching to a dual degree might be a good option since मतलब core के लिए it is not much of a disadvantage because few companies they in some sense prefer MTechs or dual degrees. Uh, Apart from that, yeah, I don't have any more points to add.
Yeah, so the thing is that I would like to add something. Samarth actually said it correctly. Uh, the problem is a problem with core internships is that they actually prefer MTechs and dual degree students. This is the harsh reality. And I have many of my friends with exceptionally high CGPA, but still they did not get CDC internship. Uh, they had good projects, I guess, I hope so. But their CGPA was exceptionally high. Some were, department toppers of electronics and all. So the thing is that the that is the problem with core. Even if you have a very good CGPA, that does not guarantee you an internship. You need to have a overall background of everything. Starting from project, a good CGPA is obviously favorable, and understanding of what you are learning and what you are doing. So yeah, see, if you're planning for a dual degree switchover, you can go for it. But yeah, for core people, switching to dual degree is fine, is actually fine. It's not of a big deal. Actually, many people, take this in a very wrong way, but it's actually completely fine.
Also, like I would like to add a point that CGPA you can take it as a uh, advantage of getting shortlisted. So CGPA तुम लोग को it will help you up to that point where you get selected for the shortlisting and not for the interviews. In the interview, the thing that you will be judged upon is your knowledge and your understanding of your CV. So this is a differentiating factor between having a good CG and having a good CV. CG will take you above that shortlisting wala level, but getting selected is what depending on your knowledge about your topics.
Yeah, Hardik, do you want to add anything?
Personally, for me, I have a slightly different opinion. If you are a BTech student and you are preparing for core roles, even though CDC does not offer many opportunities for that, but you can always go for off-campus opportunities. And I don't think they are in any way less reputed than the ones come in CDC. So I personally feel if you're very interested in core, you can opt for switchover. But personally, I would stick to the BTech curriculum, and based on that, because I don't know 2 3 years down the line if I would really like core that much, and I would want to pursue it to my career level. If you are really interested, you can opt for it, but I think you need to be a bit more flexible in that case and try to go for some off-campus opportunities. And let's say if you really want to do something in core only, uh, after your 4 years, you can always go for better universities for your MTechs, even though they would cost you 1 year more. But having a better university for that, I guess it's better than just switching over to dual degree as of now. So again, it's completely based on the individual and the kind of aspirations he has in future. So can't be generalized for any case.
Yeah, it was like a bit tough to generalize कि dual degree करना ही है ऐसा. मतलब I would like to drop a motivating fact for those who still want to pursue BTech and get an internship. In JLR, total 5 people were selected from Kharagpur, and 3 of them are uh, BTechs. Okay, and overall we have 30 interns in JLR this year, and out of them only three are dual degrees, and rest of them are BTech people. So it is, as I already said, कि if you're confident that you will be able to compete, surely go for it. But if you're feeling कि तुम्हारी CV थोड़ी खाली पड़ जाएगी या फिर you're not that confident with your core topics, or you just have shifted your interest towards core profile, right? मतलब previously you were doing something like software ML, or and abhi you started focusing on core. So in that case, surely dual degree conversion to dual degree might be a bit better choice.
Thank you for that answer. I want to ask you one more thing. What is your opinion on SAIPs, which is a semester of internship program? So you guys were talking about off-campus opportunities also. So what about an SAIP? Will it benefit in a core placement?
Uh, like I do not know much about SAIP. I guess it is the same thing that that it is actually 6 month duration long, all those stuff, right? Yeah. So the thing with SAIP is that it would be better if you are in a dual degree program. Then grabbing a SIP would be easier for you, because professors don't generally allow you for an SIP. And the thing is that if you are a dual degree student, then your SIP gets converted into your MTP. For BTech, I guess it gets converted into BTP. I am not sure. Yeah, Samarth might
So
know
the
about this. Like I do not have much idea about this.
And I don't have much idea on SAIP to be honest. I don't have even I don't have मतलब मेरे पास फ्रेंड्स भी नहीं है ऐसे जो मतलब they have pursued SAIP, so I may not be a good person to answer on.
So the thing is, many companies offer 6 months internships as well. Uh, I would say if you can get it, surely you should take it, because 2 months period of time is nothing when it comes to your experience in industries. So personally, when I came to NVIDIA, they would ask me if your internship is for 2 months or 6 months, and whenever I would say it's only for 2 months, they would always be like, you don't get enough time to learn anything. For 6 months, you really get to know more about the projects the company is doing, and you are able to contribute more to the projects they are already working on. But SCIP for BTech people, at least for electronics, it was not allowed. I tried for that, but never succeeded in that. But if you can really put effort into it and somehow convince your professors and all, because the thing is, you need to uh, cover those credits in your third year now. If you haven't planned for SIP till now, if you plan it now, you need to cover some credits in your third year now. So it becomes a bit of a challenge, because first of all, the professors and faculty advisor, at least in EC, never allow that. And if you can convince them, I think it's a great option for that.
Yeah, and the problem with SIP is that most of the corporate companies do not actually offer 6 month internship to IIT KGP students. Most of them, they actually offer 2 month internships. So you need to have a 6 month intern in your hand at the first place. One of the companies is Amazon, as far as I know. And apart from that, I have no idea which other company actually provides SIP 6 month duration internship to IIT KGP students. But for other colleges, they actually do provide. I mean, for NIT Trichy and all, they actually do have a 6 month internship for Qualcomm, I guess for NVIDIA as well.
Even BITS has that,
Yeah, correct.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
our college
अपने
doesn't.
college में there is no fixed structure of providing 6 months intern. So you will have to manage a lot like college आओ मत बस mid sem end sem देने आ जाओ something like that. So that will be a bit hectic, I would say.
So, moving on to one of the more commonly asked questions. So, what are the common mistakes one should avoid during their preparation for internship?
One of the common mistakes, as far as I remember, is that everyone, take a lot of stress. Please do not take stress. Even if you do not get an internship, it is not everything. It is just a part of IIT KGP student life. Do not take stress. Try to learn everything, whatever you want, and give your 100% to everything. try to learn new things, ML, DSA, enjoy the process actually. Recently, whatever, whatever sad incidents have happened in our college, I think a major contribution was because of this thing, CDC internship drive. So my tip would be, enjoy the process, learn new things, but do not take stress. Even if you do not get an internship at IIT KGP, there are multiple thousands of off-campus opportunities out there. Thousands of, thousands are there. So do not take stress and just chill. Just chill. Everything will be fine.
Just to add
Mostly
on
we
that,
try. Okay, okay.
just to add on that, even I was very anxious when my intern season was going on. One of the major mistake that I did was I didn't used to talk to my batchmates regarding all this preparation and all, because I thought talking to them about CDC internships would make me even more anxious and more nervous, because they must have done these projects, they are interning here, something. But that was a big mistake that I made. But if you are anxious, if you are nervous, please talk to your seniors. They would really be there to guide you in whichever mistake, whichever doubt or situation you are in, because I think we all are always in that situation some time back. So it's better to communicate with the seniors, try to talk to them. I don't think anybody would seem zone you or anything, and they are always there to help you with any difficulty that you are facing. And even I talked to my seniors, and that was a great boost for my preparation.
Like I would like to add ki the main reason of us panicking is that we try to judge ourselves based on our understanding ki apna current state kya hai and currently what I am. But we always have that way ki we don't know what we will be in the future, right? So what I would suggest is to just lock in for these 3 months for this next CDC session, because one thing is that whatever you do or whatever you study in these 3 months under this pressure, ये जो तुम पढ़ोगे, that will be retained for like a year or two. मतलब whatever I have learned in my CDC वाला period, the summer vacation, that has retained for such a long amount of time, and that was so useful in like every domain. Like I've participated in inter-IT, there उधर के interviews might help a lot. After coming to JLR, I've talked. I started talking with my seniors. I presented them my ideas, how I, whatever studies I have done. So they were getting impressed, and that was all because I was lucky enough that I was able to lock in during these 3 months and do my preparation. So yeah, that is one factor. And other is that, yeah, as said by Hardik, that you should keep talking to your seniors, because they would at some time give you like reality checks, like where you are currently in terms of your preparation and what the company or whatever the CDC expectations are. And in accordance to that, you will be improving your pace. Okay. So yeah.
One more thing I would like to add on. Uh, Always go through the PYQs that the company gives in the online assessments, because that is very helpful to understand where your preparation lies right now. If you're not able, if you haven't done it till now, or if you don't have the PYQs, you can always ask your seniors for that. And I think nothing can match the level of preparation that gives you. uh, yeah, so you should definitely try to do as many PYQs as you can, and um, try to learn everything that you're not able to do in those tests, because after all, those are the topics that they are going to ask even this year. It's not like they would change the test 360-degree in just 1 year. They would ask the same type of questions from the same topics, from the same uh, courses as well. So go through the PYQs and try to uh, change the direction of your preparation in that way. Uh, that aligns with the PYQs or the hot topics the company gives questions from.
Okay, thank you so much
Also,
for
like
your
I would
advice.
like to, okay, I would like to add ki the current problem with the environment is that we give a lot of importance to these internships. Okay, so people take a lot of stress कि भाई internship नहीं लगी तो खत्म, placement भी नहीं लगेगी, कुछ नहीं होगा आगे मेरा वगैरह वगैरह. So like I would like to talk on the fact that there are many of my friends who were not able to secure an internship through CDC. They looked for an off-campus opportunity. They got the opportunity. They worked under the professors for 1 year. Then they sat for the placements. They got into very good companies. So what I would like to say is that have that notion कि मतलब it is very easy for me to say at least कि internship is important is since I already got internship. But I always had an idea कि this is not the end. अगर internship नहीं लगी, so this is not the end. I will definitely find some path and I will definitely be able to reach to my level. Try to see it in this way कि if you are by God forbid, but if by chance you did get an internship, compared to the other people who already got an internship, you will be studying very hard. There is an in general tendency that जिसकी internship नहीं लगती है वो बहुत ज़्यादा घिसता है, बहुत ज़्यादा घिसता है. In general, if you see in other campuses or other colleges which are not as good as IITs, the people working, they work really hard compared to us. Okay, so for example, our formula student team at IIT Kharagpur, compared to us, there are multiple colleges who do not have that privileges of having good teachers, but they work really, really hard and they really have a very good skill set. So I always try to take it in this direction कि अगर मेरी नहीं लगी तो मैं I would lock in such a way कि I will be the best. Okay, and I will end up to my goal. So don't see internship as the uh, end or everything that you want to achieve in your life. Keep it as a milestone in your life that you want to achieve. If you're able to achieve it now, it's good. If you're not able to do it, you will be able to do it in some amount of time based on your heart.
Thank you so much for your advice. So, asking you about your future, what are your future goals, main goals, and also tell us what are your goals about your ongoing internship and how do you plan to turn it into a PPO?
So that mostly depends on, on the company and their policy. If they want to give me a PPO, they will give me. If they don't, so the thing is that yeah, I'm trying to grab a PPO at Qualcomm, but mostly it depends on the vacancy and everything, and also obviously on my work. And the thing is that yeah, if I get a PPO, then it's fine. If I do not get, I have to sit for placements and to get a good job. I will try to get a good job.
I think it's more important to focus on the work we are doing right now rather than trying to just convert it into a PPO. Yeah, PPO is always on the back of our minds, but the kind of experience and the learnings about the industry we get in our internships is a lot more than just grinding hard for the PPO. So even I'm looking for a PPO, but just trying to maximize whatever I can learn in these 2 months.
Yeah, definitely everybody wants the PPO. But as said by Shubham, ki it really depends on the company. So, for example, JLR used to take around 120 or 110 number of interns, and they used to give PPO to almost all of them. So, there was an era where getting PPO was a bit easier. But as everyone must have seen, according to the statistics, last year there was a lot of issue of getting PPO, even though you have worked hard for your position or whatever work you have been doing, there was no guarantee that the company will be giving PPO. Okay, they will be saying ki you will get LOR, this thing, that thing, but you may not end up in a PPO. So, so yeah, that was harsh reality that as of now there is no uh, easy way of getting a PPO. You just have to be lucky enough to get one.
Thank you so much. And lastly, I want to ask you what final advice would you like to give for the students who want to land an internship at your company? So,
Yeah, so your
Focus on the basics. Everything you have studied till now, I think you should have studied a lot of things by now, and just try to revise all of them and talk to your seniors who are already in those positions, who can guide you better as to in which direction you should align your preparation now. Because now when the CV portal would open, you would have to invest a lot of time there, and you should invest a lot of time there. So parallelly, how you should continue with your preparation, how much time should you devote to those topics, if anything is left which you haven't studied till now, how to study that. I think the seniors would be the best people to guide you there.
Yeah, same as Hardik. So you need to know actually every tiny detail of your CV, every tiny project, every tiny detail of your CV. And while you are making your CV, try to, ask your seniors if your CV is perfect or not, whether whether at all you need to add something or modify something. And according to their suggestions, you might change or add or modify something. And uh, whatever you do, you need to have a clear understanding of that thing, because at the interview they might ask anything about that, about your project, about your internship. So yeah. And one second thing is that do not take too much stress. Everything will be fine. Just give your best. And yeah, uh, best of luck to everyone.
मैं तो कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा. All the best to those who are preparing for internship. All that मतलब इतना ही हम लोग कर सकते हैं. Other than that, अगर तुम लोग को कुछ doubts वगैरह है या फिर हम लोग को you want to know the details of the resources or any other technique or methodology that we use during our preparation, you can freely contact us. हम लोग ऐसी opportunities के लिए wait करते हैं because there during our time there were multiple good seniors who helped us in any possible way, and in a similar way we will also like to help you guys and keep forwarding this culture ahead. So yeah, all the best to all of you guys. Prepare well and have a positive approach towards this internship period. Don't take it in a negative way or don't get too stressed out that will stop you end up in a mental state that you are not able to think ahead. Don't think it as a final stage. Think it as a intermediate state.
okay, so with that, we come to an end of our questions. That brings us to the end of our structured discussion. Audience, the Q&A box is open and you can drop your questions there. Okay, so we have a first question. I am from the Department of Architecture and Regional Planning. There is a chance of me going into core, but I am also interested in finance, AIML, but architecture takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of my time. Exploring other things is difficult, and I'm trying to learn and explore new things in this summer. But after grinding myself so much in last semester for architecture, I'm not able to do the things. Can you advise anything for that?
I think he would be asking for mechanical core, right, Samarth?
I'm not sure of the opportunities available to the architecture department, but uh, are you, like, is there any option available for dual conversion or something like that? Is he a BTech person?
No, BARC is already for 5 years, I
It's
guess.
a IIT exam. So, um, I'm not sure how what kind of projects you have done as of now. Um, just to get through this process, try to complete your CV. Uh, like you can pick up common projects that are available online. You can try to put any kind of relevant things into your CV and try during this 3 months of period. Try to prepare very well for the core subjects at least, so that you at least have a good chance in participating in this process.
The next question is, what are the campus opportunities related to Aero Core? Do other mechanical oriented companies give opportunity to Aero students?
There is a company, I guess, Skyroot or Airbus. I think these are placement companies, not sure of the internship. But yeah, there is a general notion that aerospace internships, they're a bit difficult to uh, crack actually. Even if someone from Aero sitting for a JLR internship interviews. It is not impossible. I know few seniors who are from Aero department and they have ended up in JLR. So especially for Aero, there is a particular field related to CFD or structures in general. So the point which I mentioned about carbon fiber has a very good usage in aerodynamic structures, be it in race cars for the wings or in general in aerospace. So you can have, as of now, I'm able to remember these two fields, that you can have a very good background in CFD, fluid dynamics, or structures related to aerodynamic components.
All right. So basically, like I have a question. So like as mentioned in the chat that be it Aero or Oina, we don't have much core opportunities. So currently double major is introduced from 24. So do you think that that will increase the chances or companies will not give
Uh,
much?
I'm not really sure about the approach that the company has towards these dual major, since this is a new thing for them as well. So I may not be able to give you insights on this directly, but yeah, always the company would have an approach that if your CV or if your knowledge justifies your position in that company, so definitely they will have a position for you. Just make sure that you get shortlisted based on your CG or whatever it is. And after that, you just try to impress the interviewers using your knowledge skill set.
Yeah, and for specifically for aerospace students, there is a company called LAT Aerospace. I'm not sure whether they are open for aerospace students or not. I think they are actually open for electrical, mechanical, and all, but I have to check once.
Problem with yeah,
Yeah, so the thing is that just do not limit yourselves to aerospace companies only. Just broaden your spectrum. And if you have any dream company of yourself, yeah, obviously you will try for it, but do not try for it. You just do not try for that particular company. Try a range of companies and try to have a range of skill sets so that you can apply for a range of companies.
the problem that
Sir,
LAT Aerospace,
yeah, go on.
okay, the problem that LAT Aerospace had this year for internship is that they wanted people related having expertise in electric motors for their propulsion system. So again, I would say it depends on the company's requirement, what kind of skill set they want and what kind of hiring they want to do. But yeah, as mentioned by Shubham, LAT aerospace is a good opportunity for other people to apply for.
So the thing is, for Aero core, Oina core, you need to push a bit more on the off-campus side rather than relying on the CDC opportunities that we have. Uh, Off-campus opportunities are sufficient in number, but again, you'll have to grind a bit more. Uh, you won't get an easy way through. You have to approach the companies on your own. You have to cold mail everything on your own. So if you have a really good interest in that, you will surely get you'll surely get an offer from there, because I know some friends who who got LAT aerospace through off-campus opportunities, even though LAT came in the CDC process. So it's not like they would take just from the CDC timeline. They would obviously take from the off-campus opportunities as well. So if you have good enough projects and your CV is appealing to them, you can surely get a place there.
Okay, there's one more question. Will core companies ask questions in OA and interview profile specific like analog, digital, embedded, or based on the performance they allot the role?
So the thing is that when core companies come for interviews, they already divide themselves according to their roles. Like for example, for Texas Instruments, they have four different roles: analog, digital, I guess signal processing and software. So the
Embedded
thing,
system.
yeah. So the thing is that if you are, if you know everything analog, digital, embedded systems, then apply for everything, just sit for everything. I guess you are allowed for only you are allowed to sit in two of them for Texas Instruments. But if you know everything, just apply for it. Just check whether your interview goes well or not. If it goes well, then you're lucky.
Next question is, I'm from the Department of Electrical Engineering for computer architecture. Can you please say some main topics to prepare for the time being? Also, from where should we find PYQs for TI digital role specifically?
uh, for computer architecture, as far as I remember, during my time, it was offered by CSE department. I mean, the computer architecture of electrical engineering was offered by CSE department, and it was not just of computer architecture. Operating system was also there in that. So the thing is that since both of the things are taught in a single time frame, you won't be able to learn a lot in that particular subject. So for learning computer architecture, I would recommend you to shift towards other sources in YouTube, and there are multiple sources. Uh, let's say many Gate related channels are there. You can just learn from there. And for digital role, I am not particularly sure. I would Hardik, if you'd like to comment on that.
For computer architecture, I randomly searched on Google. I want notes for computer architecture, and I got some PDFs from there, and they were pretty good when it comes to basic understanding of that, because we had a computer architecture course in our sixth semester there, and many of the things aligned with the things I already studied for the CDC preparation. Also for PYQs, yes, you can reach out to me. I have, at least for our batch, I have questions from TI, Qualcomm, Google Hardware, and NVIDIA. And I have a Google Drive link as well for uh, last 5-6 years questions from my seniors. So yes, you can reach out to me. I'll share those PYQs. And also for digital concepts, if you want to go into really good depth, there's a playlist, again I've said, from Onur Mutlu. uh, I think the name is very complex, but yes, that playlist is very good. Even though I didn't study in my CDC time frame, but when I got to know about it and I went through it, it was pretty good. So if you have time and you want to invest more effort into it, you can surely go for that.
There is one more question from the same person. In our CV, we mention a section called coursework. Will we be asked questions on all courseworks we mention, or only those which are related to the applied role?
It can be anything. Entirely depends on the interviewer. But they generally do ask questions from the specifically that are applicable to your role. Uh, they generally don't deviate that much, but just to check your understanding or something, they can always ask you one or two questions from any of the courses that you have listed there. Even for me in my NVIDIA interview, the starting 5-10 minutes, which are usually considered as icebreaker time, they asked one or two questions from uh, some of the topics that were not directly related to the role I was applying for, just to check how I approach and what kind of understanding do I have if they want to take me further into that role. Yes.
All right. So thank you for your response and being here. So I think we have covered most of the questions, and with this, we come to the end of the session. So thank you to everyone who participated and asked questions. I am sure that this panel discussion would have helped you a lot. And special thanks to our panelists, Samar, Hardik, and Subham for taking out their time and sharing their experiences and insights with us. Also, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude towards our panelists because of the valuable insights that they shared with us. Secondly, I would also like to mention that I hope that everyone found this session valuable and walked away with a clearer roadmap for their preparation in respective course. Also, we have panel discussions which are scheduled for tomorrow, and so you can join the announcements WhatsApp group for further updates. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.